Today on Let's Fish TV, we are at Lay Lake. Lay Lake is located in central Alabama, and from what I'm told by the locals and the guides here, it is the crappie capital of Alabama. And I'm here to show you just why it is. I've been told that there's great numbers and big ones here in central Alabama, and I want to show you how to catch them on today's episode. Let's Fish TV is on the air right now. Oh my gosh. Check that out.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
Cobia, big one, and a monster.
Look at that.
That's a Tawakoni giant.
This is Let's Fish.
Welcome to Let's Fish TV. I'm your host, Andrew Upshaw, and today we are at Lay Lake. Lay Lake is located in central Alabama and is part of the Coosa River chain. This place is known for its big spotted bass, but even bigger crappie. And today, that is what we are after. From what I've been told from the guides and locals here, this is the crappie capital of Alabama. And I cannot wait to show you just how good it is. We'll also have this week's fishing report from your local region from our insider reporters. In the meantime, I'm gonna get my boat launched, get everything set up. We'll toss it back to the studio for your weekend planner.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for stopping by. These Salooner tables are predicting fair game fish activity both days this weekend. Expect those prime daytime hours to begin around 2:38 on Saturday and 3:38 on Sunday afternoon, with top evening action starting at 2:13 post-midnight Saturday and 3:13 Sunday. Depending on your area, you can expect the sun to rise around 7:08 and set at 7:54. The moon will have 95% visibility. Stick around, we've got fishing reports from across the area on the way. Plus, I'll return with the Bassmaster Elite Angler Patrick Walters to answer this week's Ask the Pro question.
Today we are on Lay Lake. Lay Lake is located in central Alabama and it's part of the Coosa River chain. You know, this place is loaded with big spotted bass and big crappie. Today we're gonna be targeting crappie, and as you can tell, we have a beautiful day. It's dead slick calm, high sun, no clouds, and it's a full moon, meaning the fish are gonna be moving, they're gonna be feeding. We're in the springtime of the year. This is gonna be a fun day. I can't wait to get out there and showcase just how great Lay Lake really is. Why is my drag so loose? There we go. I must have bumped my drag, guys. Oh yeah, that's a nice crappie there. Man, nothing better. Oh, there we go. Guys, today we're at Lay Lake, Alabama. And we're targeting these beautiful creatures right here, and that is crappie. You know, we're in the springtime of the year. The crappie are biting, the bass are biting, everything seems to be biting. And a nice Lay Lake crappie. Let's get this fish back real quick and we'll talk a little bit about Lay Lake and how you can catch them here. Man, what a nice crappie that was. And let me tell you, here at Lay Lake, they grow way bigger than that. You know, from all my buddies and all the guide friends that I know here, they always tell me this is the best crappie lake in Alabama. You know, this is actually part of the Coosa River chain. Has a lot of current rolls through here, but it also has a lot of those real big slabs. Funny story, I actually fished a tournament here a couple years ago. It was the first time I'd ever been here. And the second day of the event, I caught some of the biggest crappie I've ever caught in my life on a swim bait. You know, I was finding these fish on isolated timber, and I thought they were big bass, and I'd reel that swim bait by there, and I'd catch 1.75 pound to 2.5 pound crappie. In one day, I caught about 8 or 9 of those. And that's exactly the way I'm gonna fish today. I'm gonna be using my active target, my Lowrance active target, and we're gonna be fishing isolated timber, boat docks, and different types of cover, and sharing this cool adventure at Lay Lake. But hey guys, I found a good little crappie hole. I'm gonna see if I can catch me a couple more and show you maybe one of those real big Lay Lake giants.
Hey folks, it's time for that Carolinas Report, brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina, the leader in water sports on the Grand Strand. We get you out on the water, we'll help you live like a local, put you on fish Our captains are incredible. I'll tell you, we've got great boats from the Fish Finders to the Sidekick, the Silver Tuna to the New Inlet Princess. Visit crazysistermarina.com. And I'll tell you what, the saltwater side of things, a lot of stuff going on, but that wahoo bite is starting to heat up on the break. What we've had is some warm water, some really good eddies starting to push in. That bait is starting to get thick. We're starting to see those bonita move away. You're not dealing with that as much, but if you're high-speed trolling, you're gonna find those big wolf packs, get out the meat and start trolling. You catch a lot of blackfin as well, but it's time to get out and enjoy everything we have to offer here in the Carolinas, whether North or South Carolina. It's all going on. And I'll tell you what, this has been your Carolinas Report brought to you by Crazy Sister Marina. Remember, fish smarter, not harder, and keep your chaos organized.
Here it comes. There we go. Oh, there we go. God, that's a good one there. That's a really good one. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. I've seen a couple of them down there that I know are good crappie, and we caught a couple of that 10-inch size as soon as we pulled up, and that one's probably around that 13-inch range. A really good solid crappie, big old belly on that thing. But here in Alabama, and I'm just using that little bitty crappie jig. I'm gonna get this fish back though, and we're gonna talk a little bit about exactly the setup I'm using and the importance of having the right setup when you're targeting these fish. You know, when you're out here in Alabama and you're fishing for these crappie, especially when they are set up a little bit deeper, these particular fish are set up on one little bitty stump. I mean, this thing isn't this tall off the water, off the bottom, and I mean, there's 15 or 20 crappie just huddled around that one particular stump. But I like to stay back off the fish, use my Lowrance Active Target, locate where they're at. I'm actually backed up against the bank right now. I've got my power poles dropped, and I'm able to target these fish every cast on the exact same cast. I'm not having to run my trolling motor and spooking the fish. I'm staying off about 30 feet, so I'm not right over the top of them. And that's a really important aspect to pay attention to. But I'm gonna tell you guys, so if you've watched me over the last few years, one of my favorite crappie rods that Lew's has ever made was the Speed Shooter, green and blue reel and rod. And this year I switched up to the new Lew's Wally Marshall Pro Target rod. This is a 6.6 medium light. It's got that wind dry tack handle, which I absolutely love. It's super comfortable. The rod is unbelievably sensitive. And I'm pairing that on the Wally Marshall Signature Series spinning reel. This is a higher end crappie spinning reel, and it is one that I absolutely love. It has a very smooth drag for an inexpensive crappie reel, and that's what you need, especially with that 6-pound fluorocarbon. But having that 6.6 medium light, I'll even go to a 7-foot medium light, especially in a little bit deeper water or when I'm shooting docks. But that 6.6 is a great all around. I can cast the sausage spins up shallow. I can shoot docks. I can fish out here deep. It's one that I always have in the boat with me at all times, and it's just the one that I turn to in these particular situations. You know, this isn't a combo. This isn't one you can go to Academy Sports and Outdoors and buy the combo like this. You actually have to piece it together. So check it out. It's the Wally Marshall Pro Target rod. And you know me, I like lime green, and this one is accented with lime green, and I think it looks really awesome. And get you one of these Wally Marshall Signature Series reels, and you're gonna load the boat with some crappie. But I think it's really important, guys. I'm telling you, especially those light biting crappie, some of which we've had today, where it just loads up. You gotta have that sensitive rod so you can feel them. Take that to the bank, guys. I promise you, if you try that out and get you a good sensitive crappie rod, you'll feel them way more times than you won't, and you'll be able to catch them when they're not really wanting to eat. And that's what we're doing today.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan or book your fishing charter at orangebeach.com. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion. Glacier outdoors since 1982.
Crappie, look at the size of that one. There we go. That's a nice one there. Man, oh man. There's a nice Coosa River crappie. Look at the size of that one. There we go. That's a nice one there. Man, oh man. We're here on Lay Lake, and you know, I sit there and say Coosa River crappie, I mean, because this is part of the Coosa River chain of lakes. That's a nice little crappie there. Right here off the main river channel. And it's really, really important to pay attention to generation schedules of the Coosa River. Right now they're pulling a little bit of current, and I was just talking to my cameraman about the fact of how they set up. You know, this is actually a down current point, and one thing that I noticed the last time I was here was they would still get on those down current places, but they'd get behind stumps. And you could use that active target and you could scan around those stumps and you'd be able to find exactly where they were set up. But you know, it's actually really unique, and not very many bass pros do this, you know, and that's what I do for a living as I fish tournaments, is I actually have a fishing specialties mount mounted right here. And it's an easy, quick disconnect. And this is something I still use in tournaments too, especially like St. Lawrence River, where it's really rough and I've got an anchor down with my trolling motor. I can still hook up my active target to this. I can hand control it, and I can lock in on my target and keep making the exact same cast. If I don't want to use that, I'd take the quick disconnect off, I load it into my rod locker, and I reconnect the one that's attached to my trolling motor. It makes life immensely easy. I can use it in 2 different situations, but that fishing specialties mount really makes it super easy to find these isolated stumps where these crappie are set up, and I'm able to load them in the boat. Another really nice crappie. Can't wait to get back out there, because I'm telling you, as soon as I pulled up on that point, it just lit up with a whole bunch of crappie. These are actually set up a little shallower, and I'm gonna be able to take that little crappie jig and probably catch a pretty nice one here. I saw some pretty good ones, so I feel pretty good about being able to lock back on here and see if I can catch another one.
Hey y'all, welcome back. This is the Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia Coastal Fishing Report, brought to you by me, Captain Patrick Garmison with Ugly Fishing. You can go check out my website at any time, book online at uglyfishing.com. Mississippi report comes from Robert Brody, Team Brody Charters. He said that the redfish bite is really picking up good in his area. 23 to 26 inch slot reds set around beachfront jetties, bulkheads, and really old barnacle covered piling. In the Georgia area, Mike Mosley from Top of the Line Charter said that the redfish bite has really been on fire over there. Fresh live and fresh dead shrimp under popping corks with 20-pound leader and 2-aught Kale hooks has been the sweet spot for him on getting these redfish in the boat. In the Alabama area, we've been still catching a lot of sheepshead, but we are starting to see a lot of speckled trout around. We've fishing around some of the artificial reefs throughout the bay, and also out on the Gulf beaches, we're seeing a lot of bull reds. So if you want to get your line stretched, have a good time, taking some really nice pictures of some big, beautiful bull reds. They're out there. Thanks for stopping in and checking out this report. Y'all keep what you need, leave a rest. God bless, and tight lines, guys.
Oh man, check out the size of the spotted bass, guys. I know we're out here crappie fishing today, but this is a pretty good spot here. Wow. Oh, little crappie jig. Whoa. Here we go. Check that out. Wow. I mean, like I said, I know we're crappie fishing today, but what a nice bass that is. Goodness gracious. It's almost a 3-pound spot. Just big blown out spotted bass. I actually saw this lay down over here and I just had to throw over there to it. I reeled that little lightning shad past it and it demolished it. I'd be willing to bet that fish was on a bed right there. Just the way how aggressive it was. You can tell how it's a little bit beat up on the sides. I'm gonna say this was probably a bedding fish, but it just goes to show you how good Lay Lake is. I mean, it has big largemouth, big spotted bass, and big crappie. Let's get this fish back a little bit.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Visit Mississippi. Wanderers welcome. Power Pull. Total Boat Control. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on. Challenge your limits.
Oh man, guys, this is a big one here. Oh yeah, that's a big crappie. Here comes, there we go. Oh man, another really nice one. Look at that one. I got it almost under the boat and that fish just ran up there and smacked it. Look how deep that fish ate that crappie jig. It's just incredible to watch how these fish just come up there and hit that jig. I mean, another nice, just solid crappie, about a 13-incher or so. Get this fish back. You know, we're here at Lay Lake, and these Coosa River crappie are really hard fighting fish. And it's funny, you know, the way we used to crappie fish, you know, when I was growing up, you know, there was about 3 different ways we caught them. You know, you either went down the bank throwing a Roadrunner style jig head with a piece of plastic on them. You went and fished brush piles, and in the wintertime you'd fish channel bends. And that's just how we used to catch them all the time, at least from where I was. I know there's some people that have waded all around the shallow waters when they're spawning and jigged around or get in those big laydowns and dob around a little jig or a minnow. But Active Target has absolutely changed the way that we target crappie, or basically any species of fish, whether it be inshore, crappie, bass, white bass, striper, etc. But in the situation of catching these Lay Lake crappie, I'm using Active Target to my advantage to be able to spot the bigger than average crappie. Now, I've seen a few different schools of fish today that you could tell as soon as you saw them. You knew they were crappie, but they were really small. And when you'd catch one, they'd be a 9 to 10-incher. And in this situation, I rolled up to this particular point. I had some history on this spot, but I rolled up here, and as soon as I dropped the trolling motor and dropped my fishing specialties mount in the water, I was able to spot some larger than average crappie, and they're on these real isolated stumps. But one of the biggest keys to catching them here, this week especially, is fishing in really close proximity to the river, the actual river that runs through the lake. You know, there's a flat side of the lake and then there's a steep side. I'm on the steep side today. I think it's really important to stay in that little bit deeper water. I think those bigger crappie like to slide up and down, but really paying attention to those little details will help you load the boat. I got a few more minutes to fish. I'm gonna see if I can catch me a couple more.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Fish TV. This is your Alabama, Tennessee, and Mississippi fishing report. So let's go ahead and let's see what's going on right now. Right now in Tennessee, Cherokee Lake out in East Tennessee, it's fishing really good. They just had a lot of tournaments there. They're catching really big smallmouth out deep. They're starting to spawn. You can throw a drought shot, big crankbaits, spinner baits, and shaky heads. You'll catch some big smallmouth doing that, and also throwing some small Strike King Kitex. Now let's go to Alabama. Alabama right now, Wilson Lake's fishing really good. They've been ripping current all year. It's been getting a lot of rain, starting to muddy up, and those smallmouth and huge bass are starting to really bite. Flipping, throwing a jig, fishing around docks, and fishing super shallow. Now let's go over to Mississippi. Mississippi Bay Springs is fishing pretty good right now. The water's warm, it's super clear, but the bass, they're spawning. They're on their beds, they're doing their thing. Now I hope you guys stay safe out there, enjoy the nice weather coming up, and catch some big bass and tight lines, and stay safe.
There we go. Oh man, guys, this is a big one here. Oh yeah, that's a big crappie. Heck yeah. This is what I've been looking for this whole time, right here. Ooh, check that one out. That's one of those Lay Lake giants. What a way to end the day. Look at the size of that one. I saw her come in there on Active Target. I mean, look at the belly on that thing. Just a beautiful crappie. That's a great one to end the day on. Let's get this fish back real quick. It's a healthy fish. Let's get it back and we'll talk a little bit more about Lay Lake and how we've caught them today. Oh my gosh, guys, what an awesome crappie. What a way to end the day. I mean, that was an absolute tank. We've been catching a lot of that 12, 13, 14-inch crappie, and that one was quite a bit larger and really thick. I saw it coming on Active Target, and I was like, You know, I've had that happen a few times. I was like, man, there ain't no way that fish is gonna eat it. And sure enough, he ran over that lightning shad, just boom. That was one, that's why I crappie fish. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, that is why I come out here and try to catch crappie for you guys. It is one of my favorite ways to catch them. And when you get that satisfaction, you get that awesome thump, you catch that really nice crappie that you have been targeting all day long, it just makes everything else worth it. You know, Lay Lake has definitely showed out today. The numbers have just been outstanding. I mean, there's been so many fish that we've caught, a lot of great keeper fish, and we capped it off with a really, really nice one there.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lose, Feel the Difference, Mamba Boats, Ride with Pride, Strike King, Taiwan On, Fishing Specialties, makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's get right on over to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Leo is wondering, what is the single most important thing you could tell a parent who's trying to teach their kid to fish? For an answer, we asked Bassmaster Elite Angler Patrick Walters.
The single most important thing I can tell a parent to teach their kid to fish or to want to fish is to make it fun, make it enjoyable. You know, don't make it so stressful or like, hey, you have to go out there and catch fish. You know, if you want them to get into bass fishing, start them out brim fishing. You know, start them out just fishing, going pond fishing down the bank, having fun, just catching fish. And you don't have to be out there all day. You know, a couple hours each day, it goes a long way.
Thanks so much, Patrick, for sharing that knowledge with us. If you want some help from one of the pros too, simply go to letsfishtv.com, follow that Ask the Pro link, and then you submit your question.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
This week for your Academy Right Stuff, we're going to be talking about the Lose Wally Marshall Pro Target Crappie Rod. This is a 6'6" medium light action rod. It has an unbelievable balance and great sensitivity. It's not overwhelming when you set the hook. It's not going to break your line or pull the crappie jig out of the crappie's mouth. That's what you want in a great rod. It has a wind dry tack handle, which makes it comfort fishing all day long. But really the big deal here was the small 16th ounce Mr. Crappie jig head. Pink was the color. The bait itself was the Strike King Lightning Shad. The Lightning Shad is about 2 inches long in the blue ice color. And the blue ice is just the go-to color for me when the water gets really clear. You could substitute it with Blue Glimmer among others, but I just like the blue ice. It has a little bit of silver flash, but extremely natural in the water. I think that's one of the big keys to why I caught fish today. For more information, visit academy.com. Can't wait to come back to Lay Lake. I promise you at some point we're going to be back here for Let's Fish TV. But until next time, I'll see you on the water.